Some decisions don't come with announcements. They don't come with group chats or long explanations or a social media post. Some decisions are made quietly in the privacy of your own spirit because you know if you say them out loud too soon, someone will talk you out of them. This episode is about the decision I made in silence, the one I didn't tell anybody about, the one that changed the entire direction of my year.
Welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. This podcast was designed with you in mind. If you're ready to erase the norm and embrace the truth, come pull up a chair, grab a journal, and tell a friend that your favorite Jersey girl is back with another episode. So let's get into it.
Welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast, and I am your host and favorite Jersey girl, Shira Renee. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you for coming, and I hope you stick around and become part of the community. In this space, we focus on the things that we cover up and learn tips and ideas that will transform our minds and prepare us for the new and best version of ourselves. So with that being said, let's get into today's episode. Finding out that I was having a newborn at almost 40 came at a time when I was just getting the hang of things. I just started working. I was doing security. Little man was wrapping up pre-K, and he was finally at an age where it was safe enough to leave him for a weekend to go on trips and travel. I also just wrapped up an amazing podcast season, and I had plans to begin recording the new one. As I stated in my last episode, I knew that financially I couldn't afford to have another child, so this meant I had to cut back on some things and some of my extracurricular activities, and unfortunately, podcasting was one of those things. Now, for those of you who know, this won't be a surprise, but to those who don't know, podcasting is expensive. There are so many little intricate details that go on behind this mic, and the more intentional you are about your platform, the more money it will cost you. It wasn't an easy decision at all, and it made me very emotional because I felt like I was just getting to a place that fit the vision. Another thing people don't understand about podcasting or being a content creator is the level of consistency it takes. Social media is so saturated with fluff. So for a person like me who's trying to plant beauty in the world, you must stay consistent so people stick around. And my fear was coming back and no one being there to listen. After making the decision to pause, I didn't expect the positive feeling that came over me. There was so much relief in not having to record episodes or trying to schedule them out and dealing with guests and micromanaging their schedules. This gave me a lot of time to rebrand and be intentional about the direction I wanted to take this platform. If I'm being honest, the break was needed because where I thought I was going was nowhere near the direction I'm in now. When I wasn't podcasting, I felt my days binge watching shows and trying to relax. Naps became my best friend, and I learned the difference between sleep and rest. Yes, there's a difference. The negative side to all this free time is that I had a lot of time to think and reflect on life because I wasn't drowned out by the noise and productivity. You'll be surprised how much you ignore when you fill your days with stuff. Stuff from people, stuff from places, and stuff from things. And I'm the type of person, especially in my family, who gets it all done. I carry multiple hats, and this role can get heavy at times. When things become too much, I like to jump in my car and take a ride to clear my mind. So the moment that I found out I was not only pregnant, but made the decision to keep the baby, I knew something had to change. I found myself sitting in my car in a parking lot with the engine off, hands on the steering wheel, staring straight ahead like the answers were written on the windshield. I wasn't crying, I wasn't overwhelmed, I wasn't spiraling, I was just still. And that stillness felt unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable, like my spirit was clearing space for something I hadn't named yet. And then the thought came to me, clear, simple, and undeniable. I need to choose myself this year. Not in a cute Instagram captiony way, not in a self-care Sunday kind of way, but in the real grown woman life altering way. Choosing myself meant something different this time. It meant letting go of the roles I had outgrown. It meant stepping back from commitments that drained me. It meant telling the truth about what I wanted, even if it disappointed people. It meant honoring my body, my boundaries, and most of all, my peace. And I knew deep down that if I said this out loud too soon, someone would try to convince me I was overreacting or being dramatic or doing too much. So I kept it to myself. I held it close. I protected it like it was a seed that wasn't ready for sunlight yet. That quiet decision, that private yes, became the foundation for every shift that followed me. It was the moment I stopped waiting for permission to live differently. Here are some tips I want you to remember when you find yourself having to make life choices. Remember this. 1. Some decisions need privacy to grow. Not everything is meant to be processed out loud. Some choices need silence so they can take root. Number 2, choosing yourself is a practice, not a moment. It starts with one decision, but continues with 1,000 small ones. 3, and this one is probably my favorite. You don't owe anyone any explanation for your healing. Your peace doesn't require a PowerPoint presentation. 4, quiet decisions often lead to loud transformations. The world sees the results later, but the shift starts in secret. So I started to pay close attention to the energy that I was feeling around certain people, places, and things. Anything that made me anxious and caused confusion, I removed myself from it and only made room for the things that provided me with peace. I noticed that I had the capacity to handle, and everything outside of that, I began to set boundaries around it, which gave certain people and situations access to me. We all have that intuition inside of us, and if you're a believer like me, then you know we like to use the term discernment. Now, discernment is something we always ignore, especially when we're in a desperate situation. But this is your confirmation to listen to that indication inside of you. Imagine your mind is like a car, and discernment is like a check engine light that comes on. When you see that light come on in your car, you know it's signaling something needs to be checked. And having discernment or intuition is the same thing. My discernment led me to a place of transformation. So that's what I want you to focus on. When I hear the word transformation, the first thing I think about is a butterfly. I love to use a butterfly as an example because there are so many good visual elements that I can use. And if you know me, then you know I love a good visual. The main thing, though, that I want you to understand about a butterfly is that it doesn't start off as a butterfly. The caterpillar is the first stage. And if you've ever seen a caterpillar, then you know that a caterpillar crawls. After that stage, it goes into a chrysalis and stays wrapped up until the butterfly is ready. Once it becomes that, it spreads its wings and fly. Now understand this. The same view that the caterpillar has is not the same view that the butterfly has. Both experiences are different. So, My question to you is, are you ready to transform and switch from a low-level way of thinking to a higher level of thought? It's time to spread your wings and soar to heights you've never been before. It's time to walk into rooms you've never been in because you are one of one. And we'll discuss that later in another episode. Before we wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with a few things that will indicate when it's time to practice discernment. 1, when something feels off, even if you can't explain it, your intuition is a full-time employee. It clocks in before your logic does. If your body tightens, hesitates, or tilts, that's data. Don't ignore it. 2, when your emotions are loud. Discernment needs clarity. If you're angry, anxious, overexcited, or feeling pressured, pause. Decisions made in emotional fog rarely age well. 3, when words and actions don't match. Inconsistency is a trigger for discernment. Patterns tell the truth long before people do. And this is the one that I had to learn and still kind of learning to this day. 4, when you're feeling rushed. Urgency is often a tactic, even unintentionally. If you can't breathe, you can't choose well. 5, when too many voices are in your ear. Everyone has an opinion. Discernment helps you separate wisdom from noise so you can hear your voice again. 6, when your values feel challenged. If something rubs against your integrity or identity, that's a sign. Discernment helps you honor who you're becoming. 7, when the situation is unclear. Confusion is the cue that gathers more information. Discernment is the bridge between I don't know and I'm sure. 8, when an old pattern is trying to repeat itself. If it feels familiar in a way that makes you uncomfortable, pause. You're being invited to choose differently this time. 9, when someone is performing instead of showing up. Charm is not character. Discernment helps you see past the presentation. 10, when your peace is disturbed. Peace is a compass. If someone disrupts it, discernment helps you understand why. 11, when you're stepping into something new, new opportunities require clear eyes. Discernment helps you separate alignment from distraction. 12, when you're carrying other people's expectations. Discernment filters out projects, guilt, and pressure so you can return to your own voice. Discernment isn't about being guarded. It's about being guided. It's the difference between reacting and responding, between repeating and evolving. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. For those of you who love to write and journal, here are some prompts for you this week. What decision have you been afraid to say out loud? What choice would honor the version of you that you're becoming? Where do you need to choose yourself more boldly? What truth are you protecting in silence? I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and thank you for allowing me to create this safe space for you. Until next episode, I want you to remember that you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You have purpose in this world, and you have been created to do great and amazing things. So until next episode, you guys, bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and don't forget to leave a review. You can follow Shira on all major platforms and on YouTube at Shira Renee 510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine bright.